but I have to go into my computer in order to send it to you because it's not coming to me for some reason like it used to. And so it takes me a while. So if you don't get it by tomorrow afternoon, please just say reminder.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Just
And I'm
text it
sorry
to
to
me.
interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. So I've been talking to spirits since I was little. I don't remember when I wasn't. I remember being about 3.5 years old. And I remember seeing animals float when they would pass on our land, like a little kitten or whatever. And I'd see it floating and everybody would be crying that it was gone. And I'd be like, is it gone? But I didn't connect those dots.
Yeah.
I thought I didn't even think about it. So it was so normal to me that I didn't even have a thought like, do you see things floating?
Yeah.
I thought, I didn't even think everyone did. I just thought nothing. Like we know we have a hand or we know rain is rain.
Yeah.
At 4.5 years old, I was almost 5. I got locked in an unplugged freezer in a garage. I had a very profound experience. I have seen the afterlife. It's pretty awesome. And when I came back from that, I was able to see people, but they were everywhere and I was terrified. They felt like the boogeyman to me. And even though I had been there, I was a little girl. I didn't understand. And I spent my life with them coming and visiting me. During the day, I'd play with them. At night, I'd be afraid of them. It was really bizarre. And so I call it my abnormally normal life because I never asked people, because my mom had the gift and my sister had the gift and my brother had the gift and my other brother and dad didn't. So I never thought to ask anybody, are you doing it too? But one time I did. I was 8 and I said, their grandma wanted to play. I go, you see her, right? And I thought they did. And they like, oh my God, I was a weirdo from then on. And I got bullied because of it. And so I didn't talk about it a lot. The friends that I had as a child that bullied me actually are all my friends now.
Well,
and or want to be one or the other. And they tell me, we knew something was different about you, but we didn't know what it was. And so we bullied you. But what was really different about me is I was a very kind, gentle person who was also seeing spirits. So lifetime spent doing that. Definitely, I have I'm a grief and addiction specialist. So I utilize that also in my readings. And I have my doctorate. It is not the normal doctorate. It's a doctorate in divinity. I want to be very clear because I want to be honest and straightforward. And I love to work with children who have had near-death experiences. So that's my spiel.
I love it. I love it. There's so many things in that I love.
Okay, so let me tell you what I'm feeling as we're sitting in this room right now. I feel a young person with you, and I want to tell you that this is a young person. I feel an umbilical connection that for me is family, and I'll let you know what family member it is as soon as I can get the information. I do feel it's very sad to me because it feels like it was unnecessary death. It does not feel like suicide. It feels like my heart stopped. I can feel it in my chest. I feel a lot of pressure in my chest, so the heart stopped. That's what I feel. What is your first name, by the way? I'm so sorry.
Michelle.
Michelle. Oh, it just popped up when you spoke. Okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't look and I didn't ask. I went potty instead. This is a really sweet young man. That's what I'm hearing. This is a very sweet young man. I like this young man. I feel like he was kind of innocent, to be honest with you. I don't see a lot of understanding of what's going on. I also see addiction playing a part in this, but I don't think it was a serious addiction. I think it was, I hope it wasn't. But I feel like it was, it wasn't the first time, but it wasn't like I did it every day. That's how I feel. I definitely feel the feeling like how OxyContin makes you feel, but I feel like it might be fentanyl feeling. I feel like I'm sinking. That's the feeling I have. And it's a very particular feeling I get when fentanyl. And I'm going to ask you in a minute if you understand. I'm not looking at you because I want to give you everything I get first, because I could be wrong in some things. And so I just want to wait. Okay. I feel like I went to sleep. That's the feeling I have. I went to sleep, but it wasn't purposeful. So I want to be very clear about that. If anybody's suggesting that maybe it could be, no, it was not purposeful. That's not what I'm feeling. And I actually feel like it was snuck into something. I was just going to have some fun. And I can feel like something was snuck into or put in or added to something that was in, and I'm hearing your mom. Is this all correct information?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Thank
Oh
you.
God, sorry. Okay. I'm going to work on getting his name because I'm really good with names most of the time, but today has been hard for me. So I don't want you to tell me his name because I'm going to work really hard at getting it. Okay. I'm so sorry. I feel like this was accidental overdose, is how he died. I feel that he wants you to know he didn't suffer. It may have looked like that, but he didn't. Okay, so I want to be really clear about that because I feel like there may have been vomit or nose foam, things like that. And he said, I didn't even know it. I didn't know it, Mom. I didn't know it. He was already on the other side being loved and protected. Okay, and so I want you to know that. Angels come to children. I don't care how old they are. There are children. Usually if they're, in their teens, I see angels coming to them and he feels like he's in his teens. Do you understand that? So the angels come and they remove them. And it's the hardest thing I see, Michelle. It's the hardest thing I see. Um, he wants you to know that he's okay and that he loves you and he wants to thank you. So I don't know if you set up a fund for him or what you did, but he's saying, thanks, Ma, thanks. I love you. Thank you for doing that for me. I don't know if you did a walk for him or what this is, but I also see there could be more than one thing, but I feel like you're like a champion for him or something. That's how I feel like I see that, and I'm hearing dun, 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 dun. That's what I'm hearing from him. So that's his message to tell me that you're championing for him or you are a champion for him. He says, you're going to help so many people, Mom.
Oh God, I'm so happy to hear him say that.
Oh, he's like, I have chills because and you can tell me what it is if he doesn't tell me by the time we're done with this, but don't tell me what it is. I don't want you to tell me anything.
Okay.
It messes with me, what I'm getting. I'll ask you, is this right?
Okay.
And then you can say yes, okay, or no. I hear you, but I don't know what you're trying to tell me. I hear you. I do. He says he visits you and he has visited you, but your grief gets in the way and he wants you to know that your grief is getting in the way. It's not because he's not there. He is there. Okay. So he wants you to know that. And he says it will get better and he'll be not your grief. Obviously, we go through it till grief decides it's done with us.
Yeah.
We don't get to control it. But he's saying that it's getting in the way of you seeing and sensing him. But he says it won't, after a while it won't, and you'll be able to, and he'll be with you. Can't say anything private. He can't read your mind. That's the good news. I knew that when I was there. I saw that personally. And so that's the good news. And I know the why keeps coming up for you. And he said, because his free will made poor decisions. That's what he said. Now, he didn't talk like that here. I just want to say that, but that's what he's saying to me now. He is, I hear that, but I don't understand. He keeps telling me my daughter's name. So I'm waiting to see why he's telling me my daughter's name. He keeps going, just say it, just say it, just say it. I'm so protective of my journey with this that I don't say until I know for sure. And he's like, just say it. My daughter's name is Taylor. Does that make any sense to you?
I know a lot of people, I don't want to give it away because you were saying you were going to try to, a lot of people mistake his name for that.
Okay, so it's close to that. Okay, very good. And that's okay. So names are vibrations for me. I only hear a vibration, so I might get close to it and not get it right. But he actually said, say your daughter's name and she'll understand. And I'm like, I'm not saying it. And he's like, say it. Go ahead and say it. Okay. So I probably won't vibrate much closer than what that is if it's close to that.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you?
So you can tell me.
His name is Tyler.
Okay. That's about as close as I'm going to get, unless I learned it completely. He's very strong energy. I want you to know that he really is, and he's loving and warm and good and kind. And he's not like the life of the party, but he's funny.
Yes. Yes.
He's not somebody that's going to come into a party drunk and act like, and he's a good kid. Now I want to ask you why is he talking about online, something online? Can you tell me what that might mean for you?
There's so many things. How specific do you want me to be?
Either he or someone got some drugs online is what I'm sensing, is the drugs came online. Do you understand that?
Yeah. I know who we got it from. I unlocked his phone, and it was somebody that there's a lot of kids that are getting it online.
So the girl that he got it from, did she get it online?
I don't know the specifics. I think that she got it in the Tenderloin and drove it to him. He met her. But he got it from her 3 times before he finally did. So, but he used to get stuff online.
Okay, that's what I'm seeing. So what
the
was it?
First time he OD'd, he got it online. That's when it was slipped in there. Okay, hello. The first time that he ever OD'd, that's when he first got that's when he first got fentanyl.
Okay. Okay. Oh, so it is fentanyl.
Then he got addicted.
Okay. All right. I got it. And I wrote down fentanyl, which is really interesting. I think I said it earlier, but
Yes, you did.
he showed me online and something happened, and I did see an overdose. I thought that was this one, but I saw that you almost said the girl. So I want you to know, I saw that almost come out of your mouth. That's how I knew it was a female that gave it to him. I don't want to just take anything that I don't want to, like, you know what I don't want to do. Yeah, I don't have to tell you.
Yeah.
So that's how I knew girl. That's why I said the girl he got it from. I thought it was online. So that's what he's talking about. You know what's so frightening to me is that he was warned how dangerous it was. And he just couldn't help himself.
She wrote in a text, it's very strong. It keeps me from getting sick all day because she's addicted. I don't want to be the reason you overdose or anything, LOL. And he said, it's okay. I'll do it slow, like you said.
I don't understand why these kids don't see the danger of fentanyl. It's horrible. Okay, let me keep going and see what he has to say. He says you were right. That's what he said. You were right. And he said that he wishes he would have listened to you because he does miss you. He gets to be around you, but he's talking about somebody's birthday that just came or went or is coming. Somebody's birthday. So he's bringing that up. It's going to be within a couple weeks span, one way or the other. I won't look for it any further out really, because we'll find it.
Okay.
You know? But and I feel like he was going to go to a birthday party, or there was a birthday that he was going to join in on or something, some kind of party or birthday or something. Not with this medication, but it was coming for him. And he's telling me that that's, had this not happened, it would have happened then.
Oh, okay.
That's what he's saying. He's telling me to see, this is a kid that's liked. And I'm not seeing him ultra popular. I don't want to say that, because I think he was more reclusive or more to himself, honestly, but he was liked. And I feel like he was nice to everyone. And everyone knew that. And that's why he was liked so much. And he's very proud of himself for that. And he says, he's like you. He's like you. That's what he's
Oh,
saying. He's a little mini me, is what I'm hearing. Um, and he says, that's how you are. But he said, right now, you're like a vigilante. He's showing me a vigilante, he's showing me somebody with a sword, like I'm out to get it or something. You know, that's what I feel. And he says he's so grateful. And he's telling me to tell you, because he really wants you to know that you're saving lives. So whatever you're doing is working. And he's saying that, I know you say to yourself, this is what he's saying. I know you say to yourself, why couldn't I have saved yours? And he wants to tell you that you did, that the goodness that's in him came from you. And he took that with him in a consciousness there. And that's life-saving. He's in a beautiful place. Beautiful.
wait to hear that.
Was he cremated? Okay, I'm seeing cremation. I didn't know I didn't know what he was showing me. And I feel like it's very special, like special things were done or special things are going to be done or were done. I don't know how long he's been gone. And I feel like there's also like a little memorial for him, if that makes sense to you, like maybe his ashes in a picture and his cap and then his, like I feel like there's things around it. And I feel like he gets an I love you and he hears it every single time. So he says good morning back and good night back.
Does he
And,
really? Oh my God.
and he says he hears you.
I say it every night and every morning.
That's what he said. And he says he hears you and he's saying it back.
Oh God.
He's not gone. He knows it feels that way because you want to tangibly touch him and he understands that. But he wants you, how could I know you're doing that, right? And he's telling me to tell you, he knows. He hears you.
Thank you,
And
Tucker.
he's also sending you every bit of love he possibly can. He's telling me to tell you that you'll be together again. And he wants you to remember that. But now it's not the time and he doesn't need you there.
Okay.
He says, your job's here. He says, you're going to do something big, Mom. He says to tell you that he's sorry for harming you. He's so sorry. And he knows this just took your heart away.
It's okay, Tyler. I love you.
And he wants you to know that he recognizes that, and that if it helps one person, just one person, he says you're going to help many, and you have. But he says if you just helped one person, it would help you. And so he's really proud of you, is what he said.
I'm so proud of him too.
Was he a gamer?
Big time.
I know, I can see it. He's like, I'm still doing that. He's in it. He's in it to win it. That's what he's saying. He loved gaming, and I feel like he wants you to, I feel he wants you to know that he can do those things still, and none of that's gone. So when you say things like, I'm sad he can't do the things he loved, he's doing them.
Oh, good.
And he wants you to know that. Now he has I think it's a grandmother or a great grandmother on the other side that's with him. And I want you to know that she is taking care of him.
Oh, good.
So that's a really important message for you. Excuse me, I need to get my water.
Okay.
I can feel myself getting ready to call.
I had a feeling they were together. Good, good.
And also, whoever this woman is had a strong belief system.
Yes.
I want to ask you who, is she Catholic?
Yes.
Okay, because that's what I felt. And that belief system is a wonderful thing for him to have around him. Not necessarily the Catholic belief system, but definitely a belief system. He sees it all, but it's always wonderful to have someone who has a strong energy of that knowledge and understanding. And then who is Catherine or Kathleen? I feel like it might be Mary Catherine or Mary Kathleen or Margaret Catherine Margaret. It's that sound.
Could it be a Martha?
Yes, thank you. Who is that? Margaret and Martha sound the same.
It's his stepmom.
So does Mary. Okay.
She was married to his father.
Okay. And she's on the other side?
Yes.
Okay. I
And they
just want to know.
were really close.
I know, I can feel that. And she's taking care of him.
Oh my God, Martha was always amazing. Oh, thank you, Martha.
She's taking care of him and she says she's got him.
Oh gosh, that's great.
So it's good for you to know that he's there with her.
He used to hold her picture when he was young and cry when he cried, he would grab her picture and hold it. She passed away when he was about 6 or 7.
I'm sorry. Did she have cancer?
I don't know. She wasn't taking care of herself towards the end, but she had diabetes.
She had cancer, so it would have gotten her either way. Just want to say that.
Wow. She was
Yeah.
losing a lot of weight. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, just so you know, they're there together, and she says, "I got him till you get here. I got him."
Oh my God, what an amazing woman she is.
She picked him up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought she was a grandma because she's so bonded with him.
Yeah, it's
So a mom and grandma are the tightest bonds that I see. And I felt such a tight bond that I knew she wasn't his mom. So I just assumed grandma. So she's his stepmom. That's why it's so strong, the bond. And it's interesting because I didn't see the umbilical cord with her and I should have picked up on that, but it's definitely her.
that's I can't wait to tell his father.
This is heartbreaking for all of you. And none of you did anything wrong. I need to say that to you. And I need his dad to know that. No one did anything wrong. He was just a kid. How old was he?
19.
He's just a kid. Of course, I'm 63, so anybody under that's a kid to me. But really, just a kid. He's a teenager.
Yeah.
He's, I just need his dad to know that he didn't do anything wrong because he feels a lot of guilt.
His dad started drinking again. He started drinking about a week or 2. I just found out afterwards, and he almost died from drinking 2 times. So I'll let him know.
Please let him know. The thing is that he feels like he passed on the addiction and it's his fault, and he's carrying that inside of him.
I'll let him know.
Also, I think he raised him with some of that. And so I think that was,
He would supply him some of the drugs to sell.
I knew that. I just didn't want to tell you that.
Yeah, I found it all on the phone. There's a lot of things I didn't want to see, and I have never said it to his dad because I don't want.
It would destroy him.
I don't want his dad to feel that. I don't want other people. I don't want to press charges against the girl that sold it. None of those things are going to bring him back. They're not going to make me feel good. So I'm not going to do it. And Tyler would be so disappointed in me if I did any of that stuff. So.
You are 100% correct. He does not blame his dad.
Yeah.
He wants his dad to be okay.
Okay.
That's what he wants. And his dad has the addiction. His dad has the sickness.
Yes.
And he says it's not his fault either, any more than it's mine. You can't blame him for the sickness if you're not going to blame me for it.
And I was addicted to drugs when I got pregnant. And when I had Tyler, that stopped me. And so Tyler saved my life. And yeah. So, I had drinking and things, Adderall and stuff throughout the years. But yeah, so the poor kid.
It's all in my family too, honey. So I totally get it. Everyone had it, one way or the other. But even my adopted kids, and I didn't drink or have alcohol in my home, but they're my children. But you know what I'm saying? A couple of them even have had some problems. So, it just is what it is. And it's just everywhere. And nobody's to blame. No, nothing you did or your husband did caused this. Tyler is taking full responsibility for his choices. He is. And he did not do it slowly. He just wants to say that. He got over anxious. He didn't want to do it slow. And so, this, and I want you to know that he's really, really happy you didn't harm her. Really happy. He says it's not her fault, it's his. Taking responsibility and accountability on the other side is extremely important for our consciousness. You did everything right, Mom. I'm really happy, because most moms, they have this anger and rage and they're going to go after everybody. In fact, my last client, I'm going to go after all of them. And I want you to know that what you're doing is the bravest, hardest thing to do. And that is that forgiveness part.
I sat in the anger for a little while and it didn't feel good, so I had to get out of it.
You have a very special personality to be able to do that. You really do. He's so happy you didn't destroy her life. And she's looked at this. This has freaked her out.
Mm-hmm.
And if it helps her, let's hope it does.
Once it does, if she decides to get help, I'll tell her that it wasn't her fault at all and that I will be right there for her. I told her mother that I would be right there for her as soon as she gets help to ease her guilt.
Yeah. Well, good for you. All right. Martha's saying to tell you hi.
Oh.
I like her. I like her.
Martha is the sweetest thing in the world. She is the sweetest thing in wherever she is now. She's just the sweetest person. I'm so happy they're together. They're both really great people.
Yeah, I'm happy they're together too, because I really feel like she's mothering.
Yeah, she taught him how to play video games. She taught him how to play catch. She was amazing.
Oh, I love that. Well, she just wants to say she's with, hi, she's got him. She picked him up. He's safe. He's secure. Also angels. I know the angels were there. I can feel them. He's telling me he was taken out of his body before he felt any suffering at all. He's telling me that he was looking down thinking, what the heck, who's that? He literally had that thought, like, who's that? And then he realized it was himself. I didn't go through that, but he's telling me he did. And he's saying, and then he was ready to go. He was ready to go, but he has stayed around you. So what that means for me, people say, how do we know if they went into the light? That's so ridiculous. They all go, everyone goes into the light, number one. Okay, first and foremost. However, I have never seen a single person that is able to communicate not be in the light. So your son's around you. Now he's telling me to tell you about the hummingbirds. He says it's really important that you know that's coming from him, and he's standing beside you when you see them. They're going to act weird. They're going to look in your window. They're going to buzz by your head. They're going to go around you. They're going to be around. And he says that means he's near you. He also talks to you with numbers. And he says, like, you'll wake up at 3:33 or 2:22.
Yes! And 3:33 is the main one. That is the main one.
Well, that's the one he said, but I got to go further. I always do. I always go, I should stick with the first thing I say because it's always correct. But he's telling me to tell you that you're going to see that the rest of your journey, because that's part of how he communicates with you. He did like music. And so he talks to you through music.
I knew it.
And he's telling me to tell you that it will happen the rest of your journey also. He's not leaving you.
Oh, thank God. That was my biggest fear, that he was going to leave me.
No, he's not leaving you. He can be in both worlds. Your consciousness is your energy as consciousness is so high vibration that you can't lose him. When we drop into that dark vibration that we have struggle seeing them, feeling them, noting them, all those things, and we feel like they went away, which they never do.
Yeah.
They have work to do there, but they're not ever gone from us. And so we look at it like we're a singular individual, because that's what we are here, but they can be in many places. They're souls. It's different. And so, yeah, and it's not that they're not missing anything. So it's not like, well, they're here with you, so they're not talking to the angels. It's not like that.
And that's what I was hoping. I was thinking that's the way it is. That's what brought me comfort. So I was choosing to believe that.
You're correct. You're an empath. You have your own intuition. And this is the thing with empaths. Most empaths create addiction in their lives, one way or the other.
Yes.
Mine was food. It
Now,
stopped
that's what
working.
mine is now.
It stopped working for me, and now I'm struggling to finish. It's like I'm going up and down like your body does once you get used to a particular way. Others might be sex, others might be drugs, but empaths have a tendency towards addiction. And it's because they feel everything, everything. And so that is your gift to the loss of your son, because your son knows you can feel him, so he shows up more. The more we acknowledge them, the more they come. So if you're talking to him and you want to know what you want an answer to something and you hear it in here, I want you to thank him. Don't go, that's what I think he'd say. Thank him. If
Okay.
he knows it's working, he'll do it more.
Okay.
Okay. It's like anything. If I think it's not working, I'm going to stop doing it, try something else. Well, that happens a lot to people, and they try all these different things and they never get through. So he loves to walk down the hallway and hang out in the kitchen and check out what you're doing. So make sure when you hear that, that's him.
Hallway. Oh my God, the hallway has so many stories. Okay, perfect. I can't believe he said that. Okay.
Yeah. So that's important too. Obviously, he wanted me to tell you that. And so what you're witnessing is real.
Oh my gosh, I knew it. I knew it.
It's amazing what they can tell us, right?
Yes.
I want to know recently I don't know how long he's been gone, but somebody's been smelling something of his. Do you know who that might be?
I always try to smell his stuff. The smell is gone now.
Okay, so if it's still, sorry, I'm looking at it. Something's coming through at me right now. Actual figure. If it's still not been cleaned, can I just suggest that you put it in a baggie? It will bring the smell back.
Okay, I think I've pretty much washed everything. Yeah,
So
and the one thing that smelled like him, I gave to his favorite cousin that was like his brother. Once the smell went away, I was like, okay, now you can have it.
that's okay. It's okay. Is there a Caleb? Do you know someone named Caleb or K or something like that? I keep getting the C or K sound.
The C or K sound. Oh gosh. I wrote down a bunch of names. Is it a boy? Is it a male or female?
I have no idea,
Okay, so
honestly.
there's so many. There's a Kaylee, a Kay, there's a Kylie, there's a Kyle, there's
Who are they to him?
family and good friends and girlfriend and
Who's the girlfriend? Is that Kylie?
Kylie, the ex-girlfriend.
That's who he's talking about.
Kristen was the one, his love of his life. So it was Kylie and Kristen. Kristen was the one recent.
Oh man, now I don't know.
Yeah, Kylie's one that's his first girlfriend.
Oh no, then it would be Kristen. It's a C or K sound. So Kylie, Kristen. It could be either one. Let me tell you a little bit about them, and that will tell you.
Okay.
The one he's talking about, he loves to be near. He feels like it was instant knowing. There was an instant connection.
Yeah.
I do feel also that she was kind of codependent with him. So she didn't confront what she should have because she didn't want to lose him or upset him. She kept secrets for him that she shouldn't have kept, but that's between you and me. He said she's beautiful in his mind. She's beautiful and she's kind and she's very generous of spirit. And he loved to touch her. He loved to be near her. She also felt the same way. So I feel a very tight bond of, I just want to be around him. And this incident has devastated her. I can feel that feeling of, I'm never going to find another person that I felt that way about. And it's kind of bypassed, unfortunately. Like everyone like, oh, well, he was just your boyfriend. Well, no, he was her life partner.
Yes.
And so who would that be?
That's Kristen.
Okay. He wants to tell Kristen he's sorry for what happened. He wants her to know that he loves her.
She's gonna be so, oh gosh.
She wants him to know that, or he wants her to know, sorry, that she couldn't have stopped this. It wasn't her fault.
Okay.
She says things like, I should have known. I knew he was going to get high. I should have done something. No, she has no responsibility in this. And that even though they weren't together forever, it felt like a lifetime for him of
Yeah,
good, of
that's
good. And he's saying that soulmate is what I'm hearing. But he's also telling me to tell her that he wants her to be happy. And when she heals this, to go on with her life and don't compare. Because the last thing in the world he wants to carry in his consciousness is her not having a life.
oh gosh. That sounds like something he would say. And yes, that's Kristen.
And he's saying, one day at a time, Kristen, one day at a time.
Oh my God. Can I tell you what that means?
Yes, please.
She's in recovery.
Okay, well, there we are.
And she just finally got to her, she just passed her 90 days. She had to restart. She went back into recovery when right before he passed, and they broke up and all this kind of stuff happened. But it was hard for her to be in recovery when he was passing.
He wasn't in his body. I just need to tell you that again.
So he was, can I ask you about, he was in the hospital for a long time
Right.
and he wasn't in his body then?
No.
Wow.
He can pop in and out.
Yeah.
So he can hear you, but he doesn't need to be in a body that's broken to do that. His soul was free.
So could he hear? Because I want to. That's my biggest concern. Well, one of them is, I want to know I did the right thing by removing life support, and that by sitting by him and reading him his favorite books and spending every second there with him. I just want to make sure I did the right stuff.
That part was wonderful because he could see you and hear you like he can when you go past his little memorial you've set up. Okay. There was no other decision to make, is what he's telling me. He had brain damage. And he said, if you would have kept me here with brain damage, I would have never forgiven you. You did the right thing. Thank you, Mom, for having the bravery. I just would have never forgiven you. I don't want a partial life. And I probably wouldn't have had any. And he's saying, I see his cerebral area damaged from lack of oxygen. Could have been brainstem area, like the cerebral area, cortex is where I'm seeing. He would not have come back. He would not have come back. And he did not want to lay there. He didn't like his body laying there, to be honest with you. He kind of enjoyed it because he got a lot of time with you and you got to process and you got to hear your reading and all those things and all the I love yous and the kisses and the smoochies on the cheeks and the rubbing of the hands. He got all that. Somebody rubbed his feet, was warming his feet or rubbing his toes. He's telling me that felt really great. He loved it. But he said that was it. He saw it so he could feel it because he saw it, but he wasn't there. He was there with you.
I'm so glad he wasn't in that body. I'm so glad. I was going to ask you, did he feel any pain at that point? And I know from his first time he OD'd, I asked him every question. And so I knew that when he was unconscious in that bathroom, that he didn't feel any pain, that he went to sleep. But in the hospital, I felt like maybe when he was there, that maybe he was feeling something.
No. He only felt what he saw you doing. Okay. So because it's kind of like when somebody's doing something, you kind of feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same kind of feeling, but not the negative stuff. He was already pulled out of his body, honey. So he's not going to feel anything negative.
Okay, great.
Yeah, Martha was going to let that happen. But he was there. He was already visiting with people in the afterlife. He was already seeing friends and family. He was already having the experiences that we beautifully have. And they stay near their bodies simply because the loved ones are suffering and they want them to know it's okay. But they don't go back into their bodies very often. I see that rarely, rarely. I mean, I literally sit with coma patients and I can see them outside of their body looking at themselves, and they look at, and sometimes they'll pop in their body and they'll look right at me. This just happened to me recently, and I can see the pleading in their eyes, please unplug this, and then they're gone again out of that body. And I think it's because they want to just keep, they want it to be over for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why it's not about, oh, I'm in pain, let me go. It's not about that. They're traveling through the cosmos.
I'm so happy. Ever since he was little, he's always wanted to, not in a bad way, but he could not wait to go to heaven. He even cut out angel wings and had me tape them to his back, put him under his bed. And he said that couldn't wait to go because he couldn't wait to play video games all day long.
Well, that is letting you know that he's doing it. I love that. Well, he's a very empathic young man. He was when he was born. He's like a little mini you in my mind. I don't know why I'm saying that, but all the goodness came from you. It really did. I'm not saying his father's bad, but so much of his goodness came from you.
Oh.
And he just resonates in your energy. Like I can see he's a piece of you. He's a part of you. And that's a beautiful thing because I don't always see that. Like the mom that was here earlier, she was so angry. I get it. But she wants to harm other people and he doesn't want that. And so he can't resonate in her energy. Of course, I can't say that. But
Yeah.
because you're in that space of, listen, I'm going to live my best life. I'm going to do the right things. I'm going to be kind. And I'm going to understand that what happened was not purposeful. He can resonate in that energy. So he's just like hanging out with you.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about what he means. I've been advocating for fentanyl awareness for kids and parents ever since he passed. I have a meeting with the DEA. I'm going to a DEA summit on November 15th. I've been on the news numerous times. Online, I'm constantly telling my journey of what happened since fentanyl and what my life is like, going through my good days, my bad days, what it's like to lose a child to fentanyl. And I'm advocating for fentanyl. I'm in all kinds of groups. And that's where I feel like if I could just save a life. And
I understand what he's saying now.
yes, I mean, I'm forever wearing and passing out these bracelets that say Tyler and fuck fentanyl. And everybody's wearing them. And yeah, his funeral it had a message of fuck fentanyl. I gave them out at his funeral. 275 people showed up. All the young kids got up and talked. I've been talking to his friends. They all want to talk and start going around the schools with me to advocate for that. And I just dedicated a bench across the street that he grew up, his favorite bench, and all his friends showed up and we had a candlelight vigil for him Saturday night. And I just want to know if he was there and if he's excited about his table.
Yes, and yes. Okay. The reason I say that is because it felt familiar to me. Okay. There's times where I do say no, but it felt familiar to me. So that means he's letting me know, yes, he experienced it. I don't watch the news and I don't read the newspaper, so I apologize that I can't speak to that. But what I do know is your son is telling me to tell you that you are doing something wonderful and you're saving lives. And he said, I said it before and I'm going to say it again. And he feels like he's part of that because of you.
He's a big part of it.
How long has he been gone?
May 7th.
All right. Can I tell you that he's got a little bit more time? And he's hanging out in your hallway a lot doing stuff. That's so weird to me. But he's got a little more time to work on his consciousness. He hasn't been gone that long. And I really believe that he took a lot with him. And so he's got some time to work on that. And once he does, and he may be doing it now, I'm just not seeing it, he'll be helping the people that cross over with the same sickness and the same way to work on their consciousness. So you're doing it here, he'll be doing it there.
Well, he's got a lot of work because there's so many people.
I know. I know that I get them in my room every day. Every day. So almost. So what I'm hearing your son say is, I love you, I love you, I love you. I'm sorry. And I'm so proud of you.
I hope he knows I'm proud of him. I tell him too all the time that I'm proud of him. Even with the decisions, I just feel like you said, I always felt that he was an empath and he helped everyone. Numerous people stood up, said he saved their lives by calling and contacting him when nobody else did. And
I love that.
and he also saved his friend from choking in grammar school. He saved my life when he was born. I feel like that's
He's
why
earned those wings.
I feel like he was doing drugs because he had so much on his shoulders from feeling everybody's pain.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely empathic. You can feel that. And so I feel like he came for a specific reason and he did his job.
That's Yes, I've been told that by somebody else. Some lady grabbed my hand and told me that. Didn't even know about him.
Yeah. And see, the thing, I guess we don't understand the whole process, the beginning, middle, and end, but they do.
Yeah.
They know why this is happening and why it needed to happen. And it's not that God's taking them. That's not what's going on here.
No.
But he had a process he did here. And, we can't help people at nearly as well if we don't understand it. And so having that understanding is very powerful. So he was able to help more people because of it. And you understand addiction, so you will do the same.
Yes. Yes.
Keep doing what you're doing. He's loving it
I will. Is he visiting his friends and giving them signs? And
all the time.
good, because that's what they were saying. We're getting the sign, and he loved music, and they all identified with him in music. And I'm thinking that's probably what he's doing, and that's what they think.
It is. So he'll play it here, then he'll play it there. Like he'll be in the car, it'll come on, then they'll go. The grocery store will be on, and then they'll go, and it'll come on. And this is what's happening with them. He likes to go in the cars with them
Yes.
and play music in the cars. So that's a big thing for him. And also recognition. So what that means is maybe they wouldn't even have noticed that song previously, but he like makes them think, like, oh, the song's on. And that way they can hear it. And he loves music. And so yes. And I really believe that this is a really good human being and soul.
I know I'm
So,
partial.
well,
But
even I'm not, I'm truly not. And I'm telling you, that's what I feel from him. He was born an empath. He was born connected to the spirit world. He was intuitive. He knew when somebody was needing him or in trouble. And he was a good person. And this just happened to be a free will, decision that was not a good one.
yeah.
I hope this helps you in some small way.
It helps. You've helped me tremendously. I was hoping he would show up. If he didn't show up, I probably would have been devastated for so long. And I'm just so glad he showed up. Can I ask you one more thing?
You can.
Does West Coast is the best coast mean anything to him?
But is this a term he used? Yeah. Yeah, this is a term he used. That's what I'm feeling. And I feel like he wouldn't want to go anywhere else or be anywhere else. I don't know what the term means for him, to be honest with you, but I know it's something he said. I know it. And I feel like it's on something or somewhere that he's seen it on something or it's on something. That's what he's telling me. So it's not just something he said, it's on something.
So he went to Mississippi for rehab, and that's so the last 6 months, almost 6 months of his life, he was sober until that happened. I got to meet my son again off drugs. When he was there the whole time, he'd walk around saying, West Coast is the best coast, and throwing up his West Coast signs. And they all would say, well, we never had to wonder where he was from. And one night I picked up this pin and it says West Coast. I've never seen it before. And I said, oh my God, this is a sign. And I held it. I was walking around the house in the hall saying, West Coast is the best coast. And then I thought, oh, I'm just reaching and threw it back in the drawer. 2 hours later, and I had the TV on, but I wasn't watching it. I never watched Wheel of Fortune. The lady solved the puzzle. It said West Coast is the best coast. And she was from Mississippi.
Oh my God. Well, if that isn't a clear sign, I wish you could have given that to me. That would have been awesome. I knew he saw it on a sign though. I knew it was on a sign somewhere. And so yes, it had meaning. And I also knew it was the term he used. And so yes, he gave you what I could get. He probably said everything you just said. I just didn't hear it.
Well, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
I kept you over your time. I'm so sorry.
No, goodness, no. I came on late. I hope I gave you all your time. I think I did.
I'm pretty sure you did. And then some. And I just wanted to say, my cousin is Pat Ward. She told me, yeah. So she told me to tell you that. And I thought I'd tell you at the end.
Oh, thank you for telling me, because I wondered when her cousin was coming. I didn't know what your name was. Oh, I'm so glad.
And you met my friend Lori. You read her last week, Lori Palomares.
Yes.
So, and she said you were amazing. So I was so excited.
Oh, I'm so happy. And I'm so happy your son, he came in. He's such a strong energy. He's all over you.
Oh, I'm so happy.
It was like instant, like I could feel him instantly.
Well, thank you so much. And you have a wonderful evening. It was such a pleasure meeting you.
It was a pleasure meeting you too. And please take care of yourself. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing good. You're doing good. Take care.
You too. All right.
Bye.